Hello friends, very good morning to all of you. So we are in PF32 and today we are going to discuss client credential grant. So again, just going to discuss the workflow and the registration of the client in the PingFederate, and the third thing is to test in the Postman. Okay, if you have any question in the previous grant also, please put in the comment section, we can discuss again. Yeah, so let's begin. We are in PF32, that is client credential grant. Before client credential grant, I just want to tell you one thing that in ROPC, maybe I haven't told you. So in ROPC also the client trades username and password for an OAuth token over the back channel communication only. Okay, and you know what is back channel and front channel. Okay, now let's quickly discuss client credential workflow, then integration, then testing. So the client credentials flow as defined in the OAuth 2.0 RFC 6749 section 4.4 involves an application exchanging its application credentials such as client ID and secret for an access token, and the flow is best suited for basically it's machine to machine applications such as CLIS, daemons or backend services, because the system must authenticate and authorize the application instead of a user. Okay, now let me give you a very good example to understand like where we can use this client credential flow. For an example, like when like client I'm talking just want an access token to get into something in a resource server. Okay, like suppose you can take that they want to access data chart of financial performance of any quarter, like quarter 3. If this kind of information required by a client to prepare an analysis that is not specific for a user. So basically just a client is looking to get an access of some financial data, financial performance data, so that it can just analyze that and prepare a kind of some analysis. So it's specific to an organization or something, it's not specific to a user. So in this case, like a resource server can only allow if the client is a legitimate, means it has an access token from a legitimate authorization server, which resource server trust. Right, so basically it's just like the client wants to access some data that is available in the resource server to prepare something like just access some financial data, financial performance chart data, to basically analyze something and just for some analysis. So resource server can allow this client only when the client have a access token from a legitimate authorization server, which resource server also trust. So as you can see in this diagram that you have a client here, and it's also basically used that here also the client trades its own credentials, as I mentioned here, for a token, uses only the back channel since the client is acting on its own behalf. Okay, so here you can see the client is just sending a few parameters in a direct call to the authorization server token endpoint, that grant underscore type is equal to client credentials, then you have the client credentials like client ID, client secret, then the scope value, and then authorization server just validate the client ID and the secret and then issue the access token, and then basically client just use that access token to access the API, and then resource server will just do the validation of the token. I'm not discussing that the token validation in any of the flow for now, because I have a separate session plan. I basically plan a separate session for the token validation and the token revocation. So there I will discuss, but you can just think here that authorization server issued access token, client received that, and then using the access token, it is accessing the API, which basically resource server trusts that. Basically resource server trusts that access token, because resource server has also know that okay, this token issued from a trusted legitimate authorization server. Okay, this is a kind of workflow for the client credential grant, and let's quickly jump to the PingFederate. So let's go to PingFederate. Let me log in again. So I'll just quickly create a connection and then we can have a test in the Postman. So let's go to OAuth. Let's register a new client for the client credential grant. Click on add client, put a client name as a client credential, grant. Let's say this is like this only. Copy this, put it in the name also. we can, let me copy this value somewhere. Client credential grant, and I need to put a secret also. So let's go back to PingFederate. Okay, so name, client ID I've given. Client authentication, you can choose not none, just put client secret and then generate the secret, copy the secret value and keep it somewhere. Okay, now go back to the again PingFederate, and then you have that leave the other default options as it is. Redirect URI, you can give the same Postman. Click add, bypass authorization approval. Okay, and then allowed grant type, choose client credentials. Okay, and then you have the access token manager to choose test ATM and leave other options. Okay, not required. Let's go to next. Choose the app authentication risk level. Yeah, it not matters here as we have the authentication happening. So I'll give something here. It's not required to add here the this value, because yeah, in the client credentials we are basically passing the username, password as a client ID and secret, and it's doing the validation. Okay, so let's save this. So this registration is done, and it's replicated also. So let's quickly go to the Postman and have a test. Put the token name as a client credential. Choose grant type as a client credentials. Access token URL is fine. Token.2, client ID, update it, and secret value, this value also. Copy this and put in the Postman. Okay, scope is not required, leave this, and client authentication is fine. Yeah, this looks good. Now let's try to test. Clear the cookies and click get new access token. Okay, yeah, it's working. Click on proceed and you have the access token. So you have this access token, token type bearer, expires in access token URL, client ID, client secret, grant type, and your information. Why this password and username is coming? Wait, it took the previous session or what? Like, I'm just using client credentials. Let me refresh, clear the cookies. I'm not sure, like maybe it looked my previous session. Click on proceed. Yeah, I have the access token and I have the, I don't know why this username password is coming here. Let me just decode this access token. This would be the client credentials only. Let me copy this value. Let's go to browser and open jwt.io. So this token will just talk about who the issuer, and in the subject you can able to see the client ID. So you have the header as algorithm, KID, API, ATM, payload data, scope is nothing, client ID is client credential grant, issuer who issued this, PingFederate learning, JTI EXP. Yeah, this is the one thing. I think like this looks fine, but let me just check. Go to the PingFederate patients, then go to auth. We have our connection, client credential grant, is fine. Let's go to access token mapping, and you can see you have the context here as a client credentials. Choose this, choose the ATM, and then click on add mapping. Go to next. You have this all information, and if you can choose phone number here, as you are not like you have, you'll not get more options here. Like, yeah, you have this attribute you can pass, but yeah, like what we can do, let me try one thing. Like, let's go for no mapping for this phone number. Email also no mapping, first name no mapping, groups no mapping, last name no mapping, subject I'll just try to choose as a context, and I'll pass here as a client ID. Okay, yeah, and username I'll pass again as a client ID. Okay, I'm just doing the mapping of this so that we can see this information in our token. Okay, This is saved. Now let's go and again do the cluster management to their application. Let's verify it's updated or not. Access token mapping. So we have done the access token mapping for the client credentials as well as for the ROPC also. Okay, and this is for our policy contract APC. Okay, now let's go back to the Postman and close this. Clear the cookies, and you have the information client credential, grant type client credentials, access token your client ID, client secret. Yeah, this is fine. Click on get new access token. We get a token. Copy this token value. And go back to the browser and then open jwt.io. So that time we receive only few values, right? Like the client ID only. So right now I just added subject and the username, SUB username. So just want to see we're getting that value or not. Yeah, this is fine. We can see now. So you can see this header part is fine. In the payload scope is nothing. Client ID is a client credential grant. Issuer is PingFederate learning JTI. So in SUB we can see we are getting the client ID. This is the client ID. Client credential grant as a subject, and username is this is the only username. So in the client credential, username act as a client, so that's why it's acting on behalf of its own. That's why we call it as this, right? So yeah, we can just do the mapping in the access token mapping, and we can add some values like this subject, username, something, but the value will be the client ID only. Yeah, you can't like pass any other things because it's there is no context of a user in this case. Okay, this is all about client credential grant. I hope you understand this workflow and this integration and testing. Okay, we can jump to device code flow. If you have any question in the client credential, please put in the comment section. We can discuss again. Yeah, thank you.